Speaking of getting busy, it's wedding season. Whether you are getting married, you're part of the wedding party, or a guest, it is expensive. So how can you keep your spending in check? Personal finance expert Rubina Ahmed-Haq is here with some tips. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, so many weddings. We have one on deck for this summer, but this is the first summer in 5 years that we haven't had 2 or 3.
Right, and 3 is the average, according to this survey by American Express that we go to. So, you know, I'm not going to any this year, but there's been years I've gone to 6. So the average is about 3 a year.
So when we're talking about cost, according to Wedding Bells Canada, it costs 30 grand to plan a wedding. And then if you're a guest, the average cost from the American Express survey can be 700 American, which is 943 Canadian.
Exactly.
Rubina, what are we spending our money on?
Well, as a guest, because people are often surprised about that, it's the transportation to get there. So I often say to people, if you can, drive to your destination rather than fly. It's the hotel, it's the outfit, it's the hair and makeup that sometimes we get done. It's the, all those things in combination, and then the gift for the couple. So those things equal about $900 Canadian after you add it all up as a guest. And you remember your wedding, how expensive it was, how easy it is for those costs to add up, all those extras that you end up putting on. So I always recommend DIY as much as you can. DIY the centerpieces, DIY the menus, cut out stuff like the midnight buffet, cut out the wedding party. Isn't that controversial?
Oh,
to save some money.
Scandalous.
And that's really going to help you keep your costs down and not, you're starting your life. There's so many expensive things to come. Don't start off in debt.
Yeah, no kidding. I DIY'd as much as I could for our wedding, and you're right, the costs just, they go up and they go up, and it's the last minute things, when you get all excited and it's a big day and you think, oh, why not? Let's do a photo booth.
Yes.
Don't do that. Don't decide that day of.
Yeah, I agree. I think that you should have a budget, write everything down that you want, and stick to it. It's just like when you're traveling and the last minute you grab a bunch of stuff out of your closet you might think you need, and you never need those things. Really trust yourself in the beginning. The budget that you made, the things that you decided were good for your wedding, don't add on those extras.
Okay, so if we're a guest, how can we keep the cost low? Because you can't just not buy a gift.
Well, I actually say that buying a gift is one of the most important things to do. I mean, don't cheap out on the gift. That's one place you should spend your money. But as a guest, try to be a little bit critical as to how many events you say yes to, because it's no longer just the wedding. It's the bachelorette and the bachelor party. It's outside of town, so it might be in Miami or New York. It's no longer just a night out in the city. So, be careful as to what you're saying yes to. You don't have to go to all 8 events before the wedding. You can go to a couple. That's going to help you save some money and not spend that $900. And like I said, drive to the event. Even if it means taking a day off work, add up how much it would cost to lose a day of pay, and then rather than paying for a flight, so that's going to save you money in the long run too.
I'm glad you brought up the taking the day off work, because some brides and grooms or some couples are looking for off-season days.
Yes.
Or days that are not traditional wedding days. We often see weddings on Saturdays. But if we go with Sunday or Friday, does that work better in our favor?
It works so much better. I say go for Tuesday or Wednesday. Why not? If you look up celebrity weddings, they often happen on a weekday. So the best thing you can do for your budget is to break the mold of the Saturday afternoon reception and Saturday evening ballroom wedding. So have your wedding at a different location. Have it on a Tuesday or Wednesday. And if people say to you, that's strange that you're having your wedding on a Tuesday, making me take a day off work and then go to work, tired the next day, say, I'm doing my wedding Hollywood style. That's why I'm having it on it, So
like
that's the only way you can sort of make it sound a little bit more exciting.
Totally, and you totally justify it. Hollywood style, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, the number one thing that we should absolutely spend money on if we are planning a wedding, what would you say it is?
So if you're planning a wedding, I mean, really look at, as a couple, what you're going to be wearing and the photographs. I think those are things that really, capture the memories, really keep that in your mind for the long term. So that's something that I really would recommend, that if you're going to spend the money on a good photographer, making sure that you're happy with your outfit. And as a guest, like I mentioned, the one thing you cannot cheap out on is the gift.
Gifts.
Because you are going to the wedding to celebrate that couple. And if you can't go, send them a no reply and say, I'm sorry, I can't go. We have to get invited to weddings we're obligated to go to. Just say no. It's so easy.
Just say no.
Yeah.
We will learn. We will learn, Rubina. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks so much for having me.
We will be back in just 2 minutes. Stay with us.